They actually did it. They actually did it. They actually did it. 2 months ago, around about Money in the Bank time, I said it as a joke because I knew WWE wouldn't do it. 2 months ago, I jokingly said, what if they include Alexa Bliss in this storyline with Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt? It was in the segment, I believe I said it in one of my videos. It was during the segment where Alexa Bliss was on a moment of bliss with Braun Strowman, and he got the sheet mask as a present. Pretty sure it was that episode of Smackdown. And I jokingly said, what if they involve Alexa? And here we are, 2 months later. And here we are 2 months later. At the end of July, well, the 1st of August for me, but the end of July for Americans, we're seeing The Fiend putting the Man of a Claw on Alexa Bliss to close off SmackDown. The reason why I said it is because I thought WWE would not do that. Gotta hand it to yous, WWE. Gotta hand it to yous. You definitely proved me wrong. Because I said it. I said this 2 months ago, and I only said it as a joke because I did not think WWE would have had the balls to do something like this. And I gotta give them credit. I gotta give them credit. They did exactly what I said they were gonna do 2 months ago. But you gotta remember, I only said it as a joke. But I said it, and they did it. So I gotta give WWE credit for that. But we'll talk more about the Alexa Bliss situation later, when we get to the match. So we'll start off by talking about how we're gonna start off by talking about AJ Styles versus Gran Metalik. This was actually a good match. Now, I remember when Gran Metalik got signed, many people were saying how this was a great signing by WWE. Gran Metalik is one of the best Mexican wrestlers in the world, one of the best luchadors in the world. And you know what? When I hear people say that, it reminds me of Sin Cara back in 2011, because Sin Cara got the same amount of praise. They were like, oh my god, this guy is one of the best Mexican luchadors. And look what happened to Sin Cara's career. Yeah, it didn't go so swimmingly now, did it? So yeah. But even though Sin Cara's career started off very well in 2011, but then it just went downhill. Because of the two Sin Cara, there was like a two Sin Cara storyline, and it was a very confusing story about Sin Cara. The original Sin Cara that debuted in 2011 was the one that was getting all the heavy praise, but he ended up leaving WWE for I don't know when. I just remember hearing he left WWE, the original guy that portrayed the character. But then they had Hunico, who was the second Sin Cara, who was supposed to be the evil Sin Cara in 2011. They had Hunico take over as the Sin Cara character, and that's why Sin Cara never got much success. I know, it's a confusing thing to talk about. It's a very confusing thing to talk about, because there were two Sin Caras at one time. But yeah, my point is, Sin Cara got the same thing. WWE signed him, and everyone was like, "Oh, this Sin Cara, he's gonna be a future world champion because he's one of the best Mexican superstars in the world." And yeah, his career basically went nowhere. Poor Sin Cara. I actually liked him though. Grand Metalik, I don't really like all that much, but yeah, he was a good. He put up a good showing here against AJ Styles. King Corbin took on Drew Gulak. That match started after a Jeff Hardy segment. I did not care about the Jeff Hardy segment. The Jeff Hardy segment was probably the only thing bad about the show because I don't care about Jeff Hardy. And yeah, King Corbin versus Drew Gulak. And before the match, King Corbin protest to Chad Gable on helping him attack Matt Riddle. And I thought Chad Gable wouldn't do it because he asked him to. But after King Corbin's match with Drew Gulak, he would give Drew Gulak the end of days. Matt Riddle would attack. And then Chad Gable would come out and he would actually attack Matt Riddle. So I guess we're getting a Chad Gable heel turn. So I'm assuming now that Chad Gable is going heel, does that mean they're going to get rid of the Shorty G name? Please tell me. Please tell me now that they're turning Chad Gable heel. Please tell me they're going to get rid of the Shorty G nickname. King Corbin referred to Shorty G as Chad when they were speaking. So why not just change Shorty G's name to just Chad? At least that is better than Shorty G. If they're turning him heel, they better change his name. But Shorty G doesn't sound like a heel name. King Corbin and Chad Gable for Smackdown Tag Team Champions. I kid. Big E took on The Miz in a pretty solid match. And Big E would win the match, not with the big ending, surprisingly. He won with a crushing submission hold, which forced The Miz to tap out. And yeah, Big E rocks. Big E rocks. In my opinion, Big E as a solo act. Big E as a solo act. I'm sorry to say this, but Big E as a solo act. It is a good thing that it's happening for him, but it's not a solo run of Big E without 3 ain't enough, man. I need 5. Just give me more. It's time to keep your ass alive. Oh shit, it's time to see the fierce side. No place to run, no place to hide. It's just not the same without his old thing. Naomi took on Lacey Evans. Naomi won, as she should. And Jesus Christ. I am officially done with Lacey Evans. How the hell does this bitch have a contract in WWE? This woman is terrible. She is so goddamn terrible. Naomi would go for a sliding blockbuster. And the Lacey Evans clearly botched it. Oh god, this woman, how does this woman have a contract? How is this woman working for WWE? Oh god, how does this woman compete? Lacey Evans is absolutely garbage. Lacey Evans sucks! Seriously, this woman is downright pitiful. This woman puts Lana and Eva Marie to shame. I can't believe I am saying this, but Lacey Evans is worse than Lana. At least Lana can actually put in a decent outing. At least she can actually somewhat wrestle. she's still not great. But Jesus Christ, Lacey Evans is just downright pitiful. She is pitiful. Tamina can wrestle better than Lacey Evans. Nia Jax can wrestle better than Lacey Evans. Seriously, I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. That is how terrible Lacey Evans is. Even Alexa Bliss. Yes, another woman that I can't stand. I even think Alexa Bliss is better than Lacey Evans. Jesus Christ. Lacey Evans, you are absolutely pitiful. Why are you even in WWE? You are absolute trash. Naomi, she definitely deserves better. Naomi needs to be the one that challenges Bayley for the Smackdown Women's Championship at SummerSlam. Because it's time for a new opponent. And that's exactly what we got here in our main event. It is Bayley defending her title for the 100th time against Nikki Cross. Seriously, how many more title shots does this bitch need? Seriously, Nikki Cross, I'm not Nikki Cross's biggest fan, but Jesus Christ, how many title shots does this bitch need? Seriously, it was this time last year. Bayley was feuding with them this time of last year as well. This is downright pathetic. Nikki Cross has had, in words of Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z, Nikki Cross has had over 9,000 title shots. And she's lost every single time. How does Nikki Cross continuously get title shots? I don't know. I guess it's because she's Alexa Bliss's tag team partner. I guess that's the only reason why. And Nikki Cross lost clean. It was a clean pinfall victory. Bayley hits her finisher for the 3 count. No more matches. It's done. This needs to be the last match that Nikki Cross has with Bayley and Sasha Banks. I don't care. Like seriously, seriously, I have someone on my Twitter who continues to tell me that Nikki Cross deserves another match. No, she doesn't deserve another match. You only don't want her to have another match so that Naomi doesn't get a turn. How come Nikki Cross gets 100 title shots, but Carmella, Tamina, and Naomi only got 1? They only got 1 shot against Bayley. They only got 1 match with Bayley, and they lost. They only got 1 title match. I don't count the Fatal 5-Way. The Fatal 5-Way is a Fatal 5-Way. I don't count it. But my point is, Naomi, Carmella, and Tamina all got 1 title match. But Nikki Cross gets 100. How is that fair in any way? Nikki Cross is done. That's it. She lost. That's it. No more. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. She doesn't deserve another match. She doesn't deserve another match. I don't care what WWE. I don't care what fans think. Naomi deserves this match at SummerSlam. Naomi is the one to dethrone Bayley. Oh, it should be Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks is the Raw Women's Champion. WWE has clearly postponed Bayley versus Sasha. They have. They've completely. If they haven't postponed it, we'd be getting it by now. We would be having it by now. These two would be clashing by now if WWE did not postpone it. But it's clearly obvious WWE has postponed Bayley versus Sasha. Clearly, they wouldn't have every goddamn title. They wouldn't have every single championship if WWE postponed this feud. Clearly, they've postponed it. And since they've postponed it, my pitch is that Naomi defeats Bayley at SummerSlam. And then you have Naomi hold the title for the rest of the year. You have her keep that title until 2021. And then at Royal Rumble 2021, you have Bayley reclaim the title. And you have Sasha Banks win the 2021 Royal Rumble. That's what you do. That's what you do. You have Naomi win the championship. You have her stay champion for the rest of 2020. Then you have Bayley regain the belt at Royal Rumble. And Sasha wins the 2021 Royal Rumble. And then you have those two feud heading into WrestleMania next year. Simple. Simple as that. Sasha definitely would have lost the Raw Women's title. And they definitely would have lost the tag team titles by then. Because there's no way Sasha is going to keep the Raw Women's title for long. Jesus Christ, man. And then at the end of the show, as I mentioned at the start of this review, we had the Fiend appear. And he put the Man of Claw on Alexa. Now, I have a few theories. About this. The one theory that I am sticking with, but I'll tell you that later. My first thought was, okay, every time the Fiend attacks someone, they change. They kind of change their attitude, or they kind of change their characters. Because look at Finn Balor. He got sent to NXT, and he's now more aggressive. He now calls himself a prince. Look at The Miz. He went back to being a heel after he got done with Bray Wyatt. Seth Rollins is now the Monday Night Messiah because of Bray Wyatt. Who's to say that Bray Wyatt reverts Alexa Bliss back to the character she was in NXT? What if the next time we see Alexa Bliss, she's donning blue hair? And she's got the fairy gimmick from NXT when she blew all the pinky dust out. Not a realm out of possibility. Because the Fiend changes characters. The Fiend changes people. But my main theory, some people think the Fiend did it just to attack Bliss. Just to use Bliss as bait for Braun Strowman. Sure, that's the obvious one, but this is my idea. My idea is, this is just my pitch. My pitch is, Nikki Cross planned this whole thing. This is my pitch. My pitch is that Nikki Cross planned that attack on Alexa. She spoke with Bray. She told Bray, listen, I want Alexa Bliss out of my life. I will join you if you take out Alexa. And the Fiend takes out Bliss. And then weeks heading into SummerSlam, you reveal Nikki Cross as Sister Abigail. And then you have a mixed tag match for the Universal Championship. Yes, before people say anything and say, what? Why a mixed tag for the Universal Championship? You guys have to remember it's been done before. The one time I remember it being done before, all the way back in 2011, in early 2011, when Edge was the World Heavyweight Champion and he had to team up with Kelly in a 2-on-3 mixed tag, where it was him and Kelly defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Lay Cool and Dolph Ziggler. Remember that? Remember that match? Kelly had to defend the World Heavyweight Championship for Edge in that mixed tag. And if she lost, the title would go to Dolph Ziggler. You could have the same scenario here. Braun and Alexa have to defend the Universal Championship together. And if Alexa loses, Braun loses the title as well, and the title goes to Bray. Because clearly you're not going to give it to Nikki Cross if Nikki Cross pins Alexa Bliss. It's like that situation. It's like if Alexa retains it, if Alexa retains the title, then Braun obviously remains champion. But if Nikki pins Bliss, then Bray can be champion. That is like the easiest escape if you don't want Braun to eat a pin. So that's my idea. I would do a mixed tag for the Universal Championship. I think that would be a very interesting idea. Keep Alexa Bliss as a babyface. Turn Nikki Cross heel by revealing her the one behind Alexa Bliss's attack. That the Fiend's attack on Alexa. I think that'd be intriguing. I think that'd be very, very interesting. But I know many people are going to tell me, oh, Alexa's going to turn heel. But no. I'm sticking with my idea. I'm sticking with my idea that Nikki Cross planned it. That's my theory. My theory is Nikki Cross planned this whole thing. Just to get Alexa Bliss out of her life. And there you have it. That was your Smackdown review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hit that thumbs up. Comment your thoughts down below. And I will see you all next time.